Phrasal verbs are important for everyday English and the TOEFL, and today I've picked out a few words you'll want to know. Hi guys, I'm Danielle from GetTestObsessed.com, and in today's short video, I'll be teaching you 4 phrasal verbs that use the word pick. By the end of the video, you'll know more than 10 different usages, so be sure to watch the entire tutorial. Now, you've probably picked up on the fact that I think phrasal verbs are a necessity for fluency in English, and as a result, they are often useful in the listening and speaking sections of the TOEFL. For more on that, click on the link above. It's difficult to select the appropriate preposition for your verb without prior knowledge. So today, I've picked out the ones that are most likely to show up on test day using the common verb pick. Because phrasals are used in speaking, it's imperative that you know the proper pronunciation. While the word pick itself isn't particularly difficult, you want to make sure that you have the right ending sound when using the past tense. You know that ed can make different sounds in English, and in this case, you should follow the t sound rules. Because our verb pick ends in that hard consonant, we're not going to have the id ending that you might find with other verbs. Instead, it's going to sound like picked, picked. This is going to be even more important because it will show that you remember that with that t sound at the end, you do not add an extra syllable when pronouncing it. Considering we're talking all about making it into a phrasal and it will be followed closely with your preposition, you want to make sure that you're sounding natural and your pronunciation is correct. That means don't add that extra syllable on the end of pick when you are using it in the past tense in order to create extra space between your verb and your selected preposition to make the phrasal. As we go through these, you'll notice that anytime we put it in the past tense, picked, we're not adding an additional length to our word. So the first one that I'd like us to take a look at is pick on. This one is the least common of all 4 that we're going to feature today, but it is certainly possible that you'll hear people talking about some sort of bullying initiative, and this is typically where it comes into play. You might see it in a psychology style passage, or you might just hear the student in the listening talking to someone like their RA, their resident assistant, about something that they've witnessed. To pick on means to tease or often to bully. Our example here, studies find that looks often determine who the children decide to pick on. As you can see, to pick on is negative. You are singling out this person and you are making them feel bad in some sort of way. You can use it in a less extreme sense. Maybe your friends are teasing you, they're kind of making you the butt of some particular jokes. You can say something like, hey, stop picking on me. In that case, it's going to be a little bit lighter, but if you see it, especially in the context of bullying, it's going to be a pretty serious one to use. Our next one, which is a little bit more common, is to pick out. And the reason it's more common is it's just going to mean to select. As a result, it's going to be pretty flexible because you could be selecting many different things. Our example here, please pick out the courses you want to take next year before setting up an appointment with your academic advisor. As in this example, they might want you to talk about the college campus, like your class selection. Maybe it's the dorm that you or the student that is featured in the listening section wants to live in. You get the picture. Pick up on. The reason that I like this one so much is because it is extremely helpful to know this phrase for casual speaking situations. Native speakers use it all the time. To pick up on something means to become aware of something. In other words, you notice some particular thing and maybe you're able to make out some extra information as a result. Our example here, I'm usually pretty good at picking up on his signals, but I didn't realize he was so upset until it was too late. You can pick up on someone else's body language. You can pick up on any sort of clue or hint, whether intentional or not, that someone is leaving for you. Now, although we only have 4 different phrasals that feature the word pick to cover today, we're having over 10 different usages in total. How is that possible? Because pick up has many usages just on its own. Now, notice pick up is not necessarily the same as pick up on. So be careful with these distinctions, especially when we get to the ones that are later, like to buy something, to continue, things of that nature. You can't add the extra preposition onto it or you've changed the meaning entirely. So the first few usages that I want to cover of pick up are to learn through experience, to buy or get something, to pay the bill, and to continue. This first one, to learn through experience, sounds a little bit like the last one, to pick up on. The reason that they're so similar is because, again, you're not learning something because it's specifically put in front of you. It's more through your own observation that you're able to figure something out. Our example here. While never formally trained on the piano, she picked up many songs by eavesdropping on her older sister's lessons. Example 2, about attaining some sort of item, purchasing it. Could you pick up some soda on your way back to the dorm? We're entirely out. Our third one, to pay the bill. While it was once customary for the man to pick up the tab for a date, more and more people expect to split the bill at the end of a night. And our last one, to continue, something we often hear at the beginning or the end of a TOEFL lecture. It seems that we are out of time, so we'll pick up here next week. But it's not over. There are still additional usages of our phrasal pick up. A few others: to get by car, to lift, to clean up, to become stronger, or have increased activity, usually in regards to being busy. If you hear students discussing how they're going to get to a particular event, you might see this first example. I'd love to go to the concert, but I need a ride. Could you pick me up at 7? This one is really important for life after the TOEFL too, because this is frequently the way we talk about arranging for rides. Our next one, please pick up the papers he dropped all over the floor. In this case, we want to understand that this is going to mean to lift, so that way you know how to follow that particular directions. Very similar to the next one. Many parents have trouble getting their children to pick up after themselves. This time, it's more specific than just lift. It's closer to clean. Okay, this is going to be particularly helpful when talking about chores, another topic that you might see come up on the independent sections of the TOEFL. And our last one, finally here, many retail stores see business pick up around the holidays. This one doesn't have to be used in only business and economic context. You can also see it in terms of anything that has increased or become stronger. And that's it. I hope you picked up on all the extra times I was able to use these phrasals, as they're just so common. If you like this video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe so you never miss another TOEFL lesson. Check out the link in the box below this video to download my free guide, 50 Phrasals for the TOEFL, so you can be sure you get all the must-know terms before test day. And as always, check us out on Twitter and Instagram at GetTestObsessed and gettestobsessed.com. See you next time. Bye.